But my name is Heritage, and my question is for Gatai also. Most of your work in the public domain seems to have a direction towards either preserving culture, interpreting culture, something basically about the Nigerian narrative. So I'm going to ask the question as to how does one think on such a large scale while maximizing profitability? Because sometimes when you want to do passion projects or do work that doesn't necessarily directly serve the client, sometimes it means that you are not making as much of a profit as you like to. So the first question is, how does one combine that, thinking on a large scale and making profit? And then this one is a personal question, what is your driving force towards championing those type of projects?
That's a very great question. And the answer is that you need to have an alternative revenue plan. Because all those things you say, they don't pay yet, but you need to build them, and in building them, you can spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I'm not really covered from road to blow. But I have an agency that pays the bills, right? There is an alternative income stream. You have to have that, unless you're just going to be angry for nothing. So I think that more people need to contextualize passion and not just go at it because somebody said follow your passion, right? The money is important. So if that passion is not something that has a clear direction to profitability yet, you need to find something that does. That thing might not be as exciting, but you need to do it because it's paying the bills. And when I walked in, I don't know who I was talking to about how you need to eat shit, pardon my language, for a bit to build the kind of life that you want. Trust me, everybody has a passion, right, that you can easily do. The things I really want to do, I've not even done them yet, because the kind of money I'm looking for, you need to get into a level of comfort to really express your creativity. And in this part of the world, the thing that you are really, really, really happy about in doing doesn't really bring you the money. So I keep saying my definition of success is when you find your overlap. If the thing that makes you happy is the thing that makes you money, you have won in life. But for now, you have to always find the alternative stream and enjoy it while it lasts, even if it's not very enjoyable, so that you can fund your creative project. And then if you have access to cash, right? If you're a rich kid, you have opportunities around you, you can always have people support your project. So that you are not also burning cash from that little income by the side. You need to let people believe in you. There are people that no matter what I'm doing, there are cards I can use 10 times. People say you can only use one card once. There are cards I can use 10 times. Now if I go to them tomorrow again, I have this project too, I drop in. So you need to find people like that in your life and let them just believe in you irrationally. Whether they know where it's going or not, they just believe in you. Find those kind of people, and I think that's the answer to that question. The question about drive, there's no other option, right? There's no other option. I believe that there is a purpose as to why I'm here, and I know what I'm capable of, so I'll be doing myself a disservice if I don't do those things. So I don't know that there's any external drive that can beat my internal drive. It's just, I don't know what the other option is. Did I answer your question?
I think Tara has a very good point because I worked on Road to Blow as well. I have a very good idea of how much money was spent on the documentary alone. Talk to us of other things. I think you premiered it, in Ireland, I think last year.
Yes. It was premiered at Africa.
Exactly. So that cost a lot of money. I think next question is for Ryan. So what differentiates a stellar photographer from the regular guys? Or what makes Ryan? Why are you the way you are?
So first of all, I'd like to know if there are any other photographers here. Stay in your photographer. Raise your hand now, raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, good. It's good to know that I have people here because I felt locked in somewhere and I don't really. Alright guys, I like to tell photographers this. anybody can create a great photograph. Anybody can take a great picture, right? What else do you have to offer that is not the end work, which is the picture? So let's call it value. So what other value are you bringing? What sets you apart from the other photographer that has the same light setup, the same composition, everything? Do you understand? So I like to tell people this, that the journey, the photography journey before the end product itself is important. How do you make the people you're photographing feel? How does the experience feel like before you get to the end pictures? Do you understand? I've had clients and customers tell me, I like how you made me feel like myself. I like how you made me feel comfortable. I like how I wasn't so self-conscious. It didn't seem too mechanical, it was very organic, you know. All of these things don't seem like a big deal, but they are. These are the things that when they want to recommend you to other people, they won't just say, oh, I know a great photographer. Those are the things that would help them, the next person relate to you better. So, an example, he is a photographer and he says, oh, I have a photographer. He's really good, let me see his work. He shows him my work. But then he goes further to say, oh, this is what he did. This is what he did. This is how he made me feel. That goes further than what the pictures look like. That's the value. Do you understand? The experience that the person feels during the journey is not always, the value is not always in the picture. Do you understand? Another thing I like to tell people is when people are starting out, they always want to create a niche almost immediately. It won't work like that. You see people, because we're born into a generation that is already tech, right? So we see photography first of all as Instagram as the hallmark. Have you ever asked yourself, photographers that were photographing before Instagram, how did they used to? What was their thing? How were they doing their stuff? They had to try many things, you know. Have you asked yourself, the reason you like that kind of photography, is it not because you've been seeing it a lot on Instagram? The reason you think that is your niche? You need to try out stuff, and niches take time to create. You have to take your time, right? You have to explore. Photography is storytelling. Do you understand? Before you get to the place where you know that this is the kind of story that I'm great at telling, you have to explore. You know, I started out taking, I'm a lifestyle portrait and fashion photographer, but I started out taking insects, birds, leaves, and I know most of us can relate. Do you understand? I moved from there to taking beauty photographs. I used to be impressed, but I realized that I loved beauty a lot because of Prince Mason. I learned retouching on YouTube, following Prince Mason. Prince Mason is a great retoucher, but as time went on, I realized that that's not what I loved. I was more of a fashion person. But some people are just stuck there saying, well, that is my niche. Do you understand? So take your time to explore what works best for you. Do you understand? Don't box yourself first of all. Especially if you're just starting out, don't box yourself first of all and say, oh, I want to be this. Try other things. You might love the other things that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that detailed answer. The next question is for Mr. Perez. Question is basically, so I mean, we have Victor here, so who is a creative and a tech founder. So what are the challenges that you think young creatives who are looking to start a tech company or sell a company for $200 million sometime in the future? What are the challenges that they are likely to face and how to sort of combat them?
Alright, I'm happy to be here. For record purposes, Victor is my friend. Alright. So number one is burnout. You get burnt out a lot, and you have to prepare for this. And the only way to get out of burnout, or one of the ways that has worked for me, is to have a support group community. I mean, your G's, your guys. There are people that you can call up any time of the day and just rant to them. Yo, this is not going well, this isn't going right. You're not ranting to them because you want their advice or your feedback. You're ranting because you want to rant. So you need people like that. That has helped. And number two, just do something different. Like break your routine and do something different. I think that helps you burn out. Then the next thing I would like to say that is a challenge or could be a challenge from a creative transition into a founder is you have to prepare your mind and get ready to do less of what you're used to doing. So for example now, for me I started as a brand designer. Back then in our days we used to call it graphic design. But now there's a new way to put it brand design. So I started as a graphic designer, that's like 10 years ago. And I transitioned into a founder, another founder. So right now I do less of design. I can't remember the last time I sat behind the screen to design. Because what is required as a founder is different from what is required as a creative developer. So prepare your mind that, yeah, you love this thing you're doing right now, but to be a founder and to do it really well, you'd have to do less of what actually got you there. And being a founder is strategic. You have to be out meeting people, relating with people, building relationships. You can't do that behind your computer screen creating. So you have to prepare your mind that, being a founder, there are sacrifices I have to make. Am I comfortable behind my computer screen all day long? Or do I want to embrace the challenge of being out there and meeting people and making things happen? So yeah, I think those are the two things I'll ask.
Big Bros, I think we also add something.
Does Big Bros
This is my reaction. We'll talk and decide which one. Nice. Yeah, right. If you're trying to found something, that thing you're trying to found, this very first thing you're trying to found is probably not going to work. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I accept. I accept. In fact, you can mumble it right now. I accept, it might not work. And if it works, the original idea, the shape that idea came in, if that idea works, that particular shape of the idea is probably not going to work. It's probably not what is going to succeed. In some cases, if the very first idea succeeds, the people you hired at first and thought, A-star, 5-star, this is the person that will maybe design this and develop, they're probably not going to be the one that will build it out. And we can go on and on. Your first marketing strategy, that when it came to your mind in the bedroom, you're like, I'm a genius. In the marketing, you will launch it and nobody will respond. Right? Yes. It seems like I'm reading courses, but I'm not joking. The first investor you met, and like, this guy looks like he believes in our idea, he's not going to invest. Or she's not going to invest. Yeah. I mean, if you apply to jobs already, or you already are used to this thing where they will smile to you on the call. You would have been zoomed in your mind. Like, you even talk to your potential colleagues, they say, I like his energy, I like her energy. And then they say, all of the accents and all of that. They say, we are sorry to, this is not a vote against you. This is not to say that you're not, look forward to maybe the future or do something together, which you're not going to do anything with them in the future, in that sense. But the point is this, guys. In 2014, Bolaji and Shegun and I, who are two of the governors of Full Gap, we started a product, 2014, called Tom Bright. We suddenly woke up and felt like we needed to build an app that has the information of electorates. Like, if you want anybody contesting, we put a manifesto, what they want to do, the electorates are informed. It was the best thing ever. We even lodged in a hotel in whatever, just to sit down and work on it back then, 2014. Of course, 4 months down the line, it's crashed, it did not work. 2014 was our first startup idea, right? But that experience, that attempt, whatever we go ahead to, because Full is not yet a success story, it's a succeeding story, right? But whatever we go ahead to succeed greatly at, by God's grace, that failure is a part of that success. Are we together? So that first investor call I said is not going to invest. That call, the fact that you did it, is going to play a role in the eventual investor call that succeeds. Right? The marketing that you did that I said you would launch and nobody will respond to, and you thought I was cursing you. The one that you eventually would do that will succeed, it will be thanks to the initial ones that you did not succeed. Do we get the point? Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
So many hard pills to swallow. So next question is for Taiwo. So from the perspective of a talent manager, someone who sources for talent for people, being a general innovator, what would you say are things that people can do to better position themselves for opportunity? You know, how can they better negotiate? Because personally, it took me a while to get the hang of negotiation, because there are several projects that I'll take on and people are like, damn, you're making bastard money. I said, I'm smiling with the 15K in my account, but okay, you have earned money. So how do you figure that out as a creative?
So my response may not be the response you want, so prepare for that. I personally do not think that creative people should be business people. Personal opinion. And I'll explain why. I have represented every kind of creative that I can think about at different levels of careers, right? And nobody has proven to me that they can be business people. So that was not like an umbrella statement. There's data to back it up. And not because they can't be, or because they shouldn't be. The creative DNA does not support borrowing financial conversation. You need to focus on creating. I'm going to balance this out, right, very soon. But I will also not sit here and lie to you guys that you can find a representative or a manager at the beginning of the career, right? So how do you not solve for this? You all have friends, right? When people walk up to me, they're like, oh, I'm a fantastic actor, I'm like, it's a business for me. If your earnings are going to hire me to work, I'm not going to do it. Because I only earn when you earn. So if you are not earning, I'm not earning. So I always tell people that there's that one friend that is just very bold with conversations about money. That they don't even know it's a skill they have, but they do have it. I think that more people need to explore friendship in helping them set up what will eventually be their representation side. I think that creative people need to stay creative. If you have handled a proper full-blown negotiation before, you will know that a creative person should not be doing it. Because by the time you are done negotiating, you are burnt out from actually doing the actual work. So I'm like, because I'm also a creative person, even though like I'm behind and working on the business, but like I know that when I want to like explore my creative side after I finish a 1-hour call with a bank, in like convincing them why they should pay 100 million naira for my clients and making them see reason why nobody else is deserving of that money, and literally pitching and selling your soul. By the time you drop all that call, you now open your computer, everything just looks like you know, so like if somebody else is handling that conversation, like you can focus. So find somebody, it doesn't have to be anybody. I feel like the best manager-talent relationships are the ones that they grow together. You cannot, it will be delusional to think that if you started a career yesterday and you want ASAP to manage you, I mean, it's just delusional. Find somebody who is also trying to grow, and somebody who is also trying to grow on that side of things, and you guys grow together. A lot of stories, a lot of examples I can give like that. When the lady that first started managing Whiskey, her name is Osage. Osage was just a 9-to-5 Whiskey was also an unknown person, and she just realized that I'm good with the business, you are just a fantastic talent. Let me help you negotiate these things now. And they both grew together, and at some point you will outgrow each other, that's inevitable. But the foundation, you must use somebody you have a relationship with to help you handle all this money. If you can't find, unfortunately you have to do both. It's not ideal, but you have to do it for now. Like I said, success, it's a combination of doing things you are not really interested in doing. So you might have to do that for some time. What's the other question? Okay, Okay, how to position yourself. You're really paying attention. I think that there is no way to do anything in life without being in people's good books. I'm not saying you should pander to make people like you, but I feel like everybody responds to kindness. I think positioning is just a buzzword for being likable. If you're likable, you are going to get opportunities. Whether you have one strategy or not. If you're just in my industry, if you're trying to cast somebody for a movie role, and even though there's somebody who is clearly talented, and the person is just troublesome, I'm going to cast somebody that is less troublesome, that is less talented. People just don't want stress. So I feel like if you offer a lot of value, if you're very helpful, if you don't meet somebody today and then you're already asking them for stuff, if you know how to build relationships, I feel like relationships is like a bank. You can't go to the bank to withdraw from your account if there's no money inside, right? So you have to deposit something somewhere to extract it out. There are people in my life that I've known for 5, 6, 7 years, and I'm not asking for anything. Because I know that the ask is big. And I don't think that I've deposited enough to like withdraw that much. That's why I use the banking analysis. If you don't have, if you're trying to withdraw 100,000 and you only have 90K in your account, it will not come out. So have I put in what I think is worth the 100K in this person? It doesn't have to be money, guys. I'm not talking about money. Like, do this person rate me enough in that 100K value before I ask them for something that is worth 100K? It's just the way the human condition is designed. You must give to get. And that's why I consider positioning to be is, what are you giving? Like if you're in a room with Illumelu and you say, oh, I have this. There are people that are giving Illumelu brand new cars and they've not gotten anything. There are people that you know the kind of birthday gift this rich man receive? Like if you worked in politics for a bit and you know the kind of gifts they receive because people are depositing into them. And those ones have not even gotten their ROI. So you that you're not giving anything. So I really believe in gifting, I believe in offering value, and naturally you're already positioning yourself. People will remember you when you are very, very memorable in that regard.
Yeah, that's what I always say now is gold, because during time for 3 years I'm having mutual friends. Taiwo is a master at this thing. And if you ever wonder how was Taiwo everybody? Because I mean you have a talk with Oditi and Silent King.
Yeah, on Monday. If you guys are in Lagos, you show up.
So Taiwo knows everybody, and the reason why you can have things like that is because he has established something. I've backside info, but it's not for front side, but yeah.
So again, to add to that, just for some context, like I said, you can give and not get. So don't give with the expectation that, oh, this person will give me something, man. It doesn't happen that way, but do it because you just want to be a kind person, you just want to be a good person. Consider it like an emotional bank account that I'm just constantly depositing. We don't have enough time. I would have taken you guys through like a chart of how I build relationships and how like I kind of have managed to make sure important people return my calls. The moment you start calling people and they don't answer your call. Funny story, who knows Godwin Tommy? Okay, Godwin Tommy used to manage whiskey at some point. Everybody returned his call, right? It's whiskey's manager. The day he stopped managing whiskey, nobody could pick his call again. It was a very harsh realization. Wow. So it's not me. It's not me. So and for everybody that will ever consider talent management, this is just free advice. As you are building your client's brand, build your own brand. So that the brands that you are trying to reach out with will not only answer you because I've never put on my bio that I represent Instead or anybody that I represented. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know that. Because I'm not letting that overshadow what I currently possess. Right? It's just an important note.
Yeah.
So you wanted to
When you the difficulty of the creative being a business person, Bolaji was my roommate, right? And I just saw that he has those soft skills. Just like you said, it's not like I'd never done any business before. but just like the natural soft skills that I saw that I couldn't have. And I said, let's build this together. That's how I became co-founders, which is the advice you're giving them. And even I had to step more into the business side of things, and I sacrificed my graphic design career literally to be a CEO or to enter sales. So at the end of the day, find people around you who have these soft skills. And on the tech side, which I have to plug in program here, that's what we're trying to do with the tech tool as well, which is how can we reduce the business side that you have to think about other documentation. And so yeah, let's just like that.
So I can also testify to what Victor said. My name is Bolaji, and Bolaji is an angel investor in Chester. So Bolaji understands business, and I can testify to that. I think that has also helped them as well.
For positioning as well, when you get into your room, let people know what you do. You know, you can't be too quiet about what you do. Hi, my name is Ryan, I'm a lifestyle portrait photographer. Here's my card, here's my Instagram, here's my portfolio, here's what I do. Do you get? Oh, my name is this, I'm a designer. Do you understand? Oh, let me see what you've done. You can't be too quiet about what you do. Do you understand? Do not underestimate the power of referrals and recommendations as well. Do you get? That happens, of course, when you have built relationships. But when you get into your room and there are no relationships at all, put yourself out there, post your work. Like, don't be too shy, don't wait till your work is perfect, put it out there. Whatever platform is there for the kind of work that you do, put it there. Share it with your friends. Tell them to help you post your stuff. You know, you don't know who's watching. People are actually watching. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's come to the panel.